Greetings, YouTube. I was at work the other day running a job that isn't particularly pleasant. It's two presses. They're 65 seconds apiece. It's a very busy process. Very rarely can I just go from press to trimming things, then go press to press and trimming things. A lot of the time I'm having to break the light screen because I'm not ready for the first press because I haven't finished the process of inspecting. So it's hard to get a good rhythm, and it's hard for me to keep things in the proper frame of mind, keep myself in the groove, if you will. If I can get in the groove, things flow better, the night goes a little faster, things aren't so rough. The other night, I was behind the eight ball all night long. I felt like I just couldn't get out of my own way. It's like literally I was tripping over myself, not physically, but you know what I mean. And I was getting very angry when I had some reject. Because I've actually run that job. I run that job regularly. And I'm the third shift, so I get to see the paperwork in front of me from the first and second shift. So I can see how many parts my fellow operators made. I can see how many problems they had and what the rejects types were and things like that. And that helps because I can then know what to look for and things like that. And I actually have a very good reject rate. I'm very anal retentive. Now, the room I'm in is absolute chaos because this is a product of my mental illness. Because at home, I feel a sense of safety and comfort, and I kind of let myself relax. And unfortunately, that results in this. I'm working on it. I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm trying. But at work, I'm very worried. All the tools on my bench are exactly in the same position every single day. I want to do everything the same way. I come in every day, I see what second shift hasn't done, and every day second shift hasn't done their job. That is not me being facetious. I'm not being melodramatic. That is not hyperbole. Every day they have not done their job. Doesn't matter which operator it is. I have to spend 20 to 30 minutes cleaning up after second shift, which never puts me in a good mood, but I've kind of learned to accept it. And if I can pull it together, and I come in with the knowledge that I have to deal with it, and that helps to deal with it because I'm kind of prepared for it. The other night, I got some rejects, and the rejects made me really angry because there were things that I had no control over. It's like the inserts I was using hadn't been assembled properly. They're metal inserts, and they have these little rings in them called limiters, and they weren't put in right. And because they weren't put in right, I ended up with parts that sometimes I could save, and a lot of the time I couldn't. I had nothing to do with me. I have no way of inspecting these before they go in the machine and knowing they're going to fail. How they were poorly assembled is so subtle that you're not going to find out until you actually have to run the damn thing. Sometimes I get lucky and one of the limiters just falls out and I catch it before it goes in, so I can just toss that one aside and then I scrap it out later. But a lot of the time I can't. So I was getting these rejects that I had no control over, and it was making me really, really angry because it was unfair. And I'm clenching my jaw and I'm just enraged about how unfair it was. But 3 guesses what I was actually angry about. Had nothing to do with the parts in front of me, had nothing to do with those inserts, whether they were or weren't put together properly. Had nothing to do with the stress and the crap about having to run 2 presses so we can make more parts. No. Unfair meant something bigger, something older. And if anybody out there who's watching this has survived childhood abuse of the domestic or sexual or varieties or both, such as me, you know what I'm talking about. Because it wasn't fucking fair. Our parents were supposed to be parents for us. And some of our parents failed. Some of them should never have been parents. Some of them had no idea what it was to be a child and didn't realize what a child was. It was just a little adult alien. And because they didn't understand how to come to grips with that, they took it out on the kid. Or kids sometimes. And unfair, because when you were a kid, you were looking, you deserved fair. You deserved a structure and healthy discipline and guidance and love and care and concern. And some of us didn't get it. But we tried to find those patterns. We tried to get the fair, the just. And it wasn't there. And that frustration goes deep. And I get so angry sometimes. I just want to reach out and I want to break the world. I don't want to yell at my parents. I don't want anything to do with who they are now. But I want answers from them from the past, and I can't have it. There's no way to do that. The past is a book. We can learn from it, but we can never change it. But I'm 56 years old, and I'm still trying to figure out fairness and justice. I'm still trying to find the patterns that make sense. And the frustration runs so deep. So I wasn't angry at the parts. Funny thing is, the next day I had rejects exactly the same goddamn type, and it didn't bother me at all. And I marveled at it. I'm really like, wow, yesterday this happened and I was lost. And today it's just a thing that happened. It's a thing that I'm going to put into a reject bin that'll get sent off, and they'll burn the rubber off it, and they'll recycle the steel, because steel can be recycled real easy. And it's got nothing to do with me. I didn't do it. The process failed. All I do is report it on my P chart. You put on there, you put down overflash. On the back you put overflash. Limiters installed in inserts incorrectly. Please have engineer take a look at this. They never will, but I still put it on there. But all those things that happened to us in the past, we didn't have anything to do with it either. Nothing to do with us. And just like I'm stuck dealing with this problem today that I got no control over, we're stuck dealing with the past that we had no control over then, and we have no control over it now. And all we can do is try to process it and move on. Sometimes that means digging up some ugly, unpleasant, frustrating things. But then we talk about it. It gets a little easier. Share your thoughts, share your world, share your pain. Find those that will listen to you. It helps. We are bigger and better than anything that ever happened to us. Always have been. Always will be.